Each year in Boston, Professor Carl Case, the retired professor of economics at Wellesley College, gives a lecture on the state of the economy and the real estate market. Several years ago, when I attended the lecture, Lehman Brothers had just failed, and Chip started the lecture off in a booming voice. Houston, we have a problem. Just how big a problem that would become, no one would have guessed. As Chip explained, for the first time in American history, the value of the total housing stock declined nationally. Now, true, in the past there had been regional downturns, but the securitized mortgage models did not take into account the fact that nationally prices could decline. We had seen New England go down, but the rest of the country go up. So the theory was if you securitize these mortgages, cut them up into tranches, and then bundled them, they would be okay because there had never been a decline nationally in prices. But what's happened since? Since 2006, the value of the housing stock in America has gone down $6.4 trillion. In 2006, the value of the housing stock was $22.9 trillion. In 2010, that had declined to $16.5 trillion. Now, who owns that loss? Fannie, Freddie, and the taxpayers. So how do we move forward from here, and what does it mean? The silver lining in this dark cloud is that now housing is at affordable rates. They are unbelievably cheap compared to what people are used to. Some markets have seen prices decline 60 to 70% off the high. One only needs to think of Florida, Arizona, Nevada for this. And nationally, it declined 30%. So affordability is at all-time highs. The other bit of good news, as you know, is mortgage rates are at historic lows, which also increases affordability. Who would have thought it possible that you could get a 3.5% 15-year loan? That is an unbelievable rate and has moved people into the purchase market. While lower prices and lower mortgage rates have increased affordability, there is a negative side to the equation that we have to take into account when we are trying to determine where the real estate market is headed. One component that drives the housing market is the formation of new households, and that has been slowing dramatically in the recent past. One only needs to think of people who have children who are graduating from college, and rather than going out, having a job, and getting their first condominium, they're in fact living with their parents. So new households are not being formed, and these young people are not entering into the purchase market. Another reason that household formation is falling is, in fact, immigration has been falling. Immigration has been one of the main components for the creation of new households in America over the last 15 years, and that trend has now been slowing with the general slowdown in the economy. So less people are actually out there forming households which need new housing. Another drag on the housing market are home starts. At the peak of the market before the recent downturn, we were creating 2 million new housing units per year. That has decreased to 500,000 per year, which is almost nothing, and we have been stuck at that low level for over 2 years now. There does not appear to be a huge impetus to push for more housing starts. In looking forward and trying to make some predictions, Chip Case pointed to the real importance of the unemployment rate. Unfortunately, a couple of days after his lecture that I attended, nationally the unemployment rate rose from 9.6 to 9.8%, which is kind of disconcerting given the time of year we're in. We would have expected to see more holiday hires for the season. Here in Massachusetts, the news is quite different, though. Massachusetts continues to buck the national trend. Our unemployment rate sank from 8.4% to 8.1%. So here in Massachusetts, we seem to be doing better than the national average. In fact, our prices are quite stable in the Boston area. If you look at the downtown markets, our prices are the same as they were in the first quarter of 2005, which was the height of the market. But on the flip side, we do have a much smaller market downtown. After Lehman Brothers went bust, our market contracted by about 50% by volume transaction for 6 months. Now, we've since made a lot of headway in the Boston market, and our market is now probably 25% smaller by volume transaction than where it was at the height of the market. So we continue to make progress here in the Boston area. The other bit of good news which argues for a strong spring market in the greater Boston area is that finally it appears that Congress and the President have agreed on a compromise for the taxes. Now, whether you agree or disagree with the agreement, stability and predictability is what the market is looking for, both the real estate market and the stock market. We are beginning to see the stock market rise on this favorable news, and we're also seeing prices start to move upward in the greater Boston area. People are seeing the bottom, and they're thinking it's now time to jump into the market. With prices lower and with mortgage rates at historic lows, there really has not been a better time for qualified buyers and investors to enter into the market here in Boston. It would be my pleasure, if you know anyone who's thinking about buying or selling in Boston, to service their needs. I promise to take excellent care of them. I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope you've enjoyed this short presentation. Please feel free to reach out to me. My telephone is 617-861-3642, or feel free to email me at john@bostoncityhomes.com. Have a great day.